David?
David Moore, Dallas Morning News. Just your impressions of the first padded practice and what your message was to the team coming out of that.
Definitely. I think it looked like a kind of a normal, through my history of being the head coach, a lot of the things that go on in your first padded practice. I thought just the pace of operation and the mechanics of it, I thought we got off to a good start. The pressure periods it's always a great indication how important this work is to see those things full speed. And the communication that was going on at the line of scrimmage, defense did a really nice job there. So, and the offense just can't get enough work against that. Really stressing your young players for the first time to see their ability to apply, the schematic part of it, because you get into these ramp up practices, but you're still flowing through an install, and to see our guys react to, in a sense, a one-day game plan and apply it. So. Too many guys on the ground. There's some things that we got to be better. So, I go through all the mechanics just the way I've always have. As far as the practice ethic, what we need to do better, because we want to keep the player safety as high as possible. But I thought it was a solid day.
Clarence Hill, Forward Star Telegram. You just talk about the running backs and how they've done. I know there's so much talk about Zeke, but some of the other guys and what you're seeing from them.
Yeah, definitely. And I think this is where they're, this is where their work will really step up, because they're all natural runners. They wouldn't be at this point of their career, but how are we progressing in the pass protection? I think Rico really showed us last year that where he is, but you can see, Deuce. I think Hunter has just made leaps and bounds. Really felt that way at the end of probably mid-season last year. So continue to progress. Malik has done a nice job. So, and I think the other guys, Royce is just a vet that seems very, very comfortable in our system, has picked it up schematically and has a really good understanding, particularly in the protection part of it. I appreciate that. So, yeah, I think they're all doing a good job.
The other day that Royce was better than what you guys thought he was, or couldn't believe he was out there. What has he shown you, and what does he bring that?
Because he does everything well. I think clearly knew him as a runner, but when you see running backs when the bullets are really flying in the pass protection part of it, the declaration, the adjustments, all that, I think it's been excellent. He's got very good hands, so has a very high understanding of the game, and also he's has a chance to be one of our primary players on special teams. So he's a really good fit for us.
Forgive me if you addressed this earlier, but Deuce has done some things with the receivers. Can you just talk about the plan there?
Yeah, I've been trying to cross-train some of our younger players. Deuce is one of them. The ability to play both in the backfield and out of the backfield. He's always been featured more in a one-back offense, and we're obviously dabbling in some of the two-back. And but his ability to play in the empty sets more too. So just trying to cross train him and give him more opportunities.
You got any more? Todd Archer.
Boy, you guys are getting along so well too. God, dog days of camp. We're here, huh?
We don't normally get to do follow-ups.
Yeah, you guys are fighting in the front row.
Todd Archer with ESPN. I don't know if it's a new emphasis, but I noticed one thing in practice yesterday. A lot of fourth down work. Has that been an added emphasis for you guys this year? Facing anything that didn't happen last year?
No, I mean we're pretty much the same as we were last year. Just as far as that was our third install. So, yeah, just the importance of really third down plays more like second down, and that's all part of the emphasis. Yesterday was our first third down day, but no, we'll run with that same format as we did last year. We just really base them off the league numbers and the trends. We have an anatomy segment each and every day when there's a particular situation. We emphasized yesterday was third down. Today is God country and red zone. So we emphasized that today. So just showing the league trends is important. Some things have held up for decades, and then there's always some new wrinkles that you see come into the league. So just, I think as much cross the hall that you can give your football team from the offense and defense. I mean, it's all part of this environment we're in.
And then the one-on-one pass rush, you look like you split it up into two groups, whereas before, was that just the way to get guys more?
Yeah, we're trying to just get to work. Yeah, I mean, just trying to be efficient. This is our last day of the ramp-up phase. So, we're 120 minutes, so we get to 150 on Friday. So, yeah, just trying to maximize our time.
John Show of The Athletic. It looked like Tyler Guyton did pretty well in his opportunities against Micah. I was just kind of wonder what you thought of Tyler and his.
Yeah, it's great work, obviously. Yeah, I mean, he can't get enough of it. Yeah, he's doing some good things. But I think he's, just like a lot of these rookies, it's going to see how it keeps coming at him. But yeah, I thought he had some nice reps against Micah.
Mike, you've had to embrace the draft and develop philosophy of this organization. In your years as a coach, are there 2 or 3 things that you try and stress to those young players to help them make that jump just as fast as they can? Because this year you're obviously going to have to depend on a lot of young players.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, frankly, let's be honest. I've been in draft and develop since 2006. And, it's a mindset and approach I'm very comfortable with, and it's so important. And it's the old, teacher adage that you always teach to the lowest individual in the room, and the lowest is obviously our youngest. And so we've always tailored everything that we do, starting with the rookie orientation when these guys get here in off-season program. And at the end of the day, it's all part of that mentoring and all part of that culture you're building and re-emphasizing in the locker room. So yeah, I mean, it's a plan I'm comfortable with, and I think our guys do a tremendous job with it.
Anything in particular that those young players really respond to that you've picked up through the years?
Respond? I think probably the number one comment for a young player, and just having a chance to visit with the rookie class at the end of the off-season program, is how open and how generous the veteran players are in helping them. So I mean, that was almost to a man, 1 or 2 top points that they made, and I just think that's critical, and I think it shows a lot about our veterans and what we have going here, because that's how we've always operated.
Calvin Watkins, Dallas Morning News. How's Cooper Beebe been looking to you so far in camp?
Looks good. I mean, I think you really appreciate from him. If you look at, because you're always looking, hey, okay, this is what he did in college. I'm talking about every prospect comes in. Does he carry that over to the pro practice? And the point I'm making is, I was really impressed with his contact balance as a college player at K-State, and you could see that right away. In the first 9-on-7, and some of the pass protection reps. Because frankly we had people on the ground way too much yesterday. I think we had 8 of them. So I mean, that's entirely too much. But that's I think that's a real strength of him, and I think that's part of being an anchor in there. So, but the other part of it is he just needs reps. I mean, he's like just all of our guys. They've done a really nice job picking it up schematically. As far as the classroom, I'd give those guys the class pretty much an A. But now it's time. I mean, we got to see them apply it and connect with their teammates, and definitely Cooper has a lot of responsibility in that area because he's playing the center position.
Mike, this goes for every rep and even every day, but when you have a good offense and a good defense, as a coach, how do you evaluate the reps in terms of if one side was good versus the other side was disappointing?
Well, I think it's just like anything. It's the video. I mean, obviously you have the play. The success of the play, the result of the play, but there's so much more that goes into it, and that's what training camp's for. So just take the pressure periods. I mean, if you were charting it based off the result, the defense had a better day than the offense, as far as the scheme challenge. But, once again, there's, it's your first day in pads, how you're getting lined up and so forth. I mean, we had too many pre-snap penalties. I think we had 5 pre-snap penalties. So it's all those little things, because you'll see it. You see it every camp. You get to a point where, it's seamless, and now all you're talking about the details and the execution. And we had some good detailed snaps, but we're just getting started. Like I said, I'd say it's a solid day. I mean, I didn't walk off the field thinking, man, that wasn't very good, because the tape that I put together every day, for the players is just to show the things we want to improve on. But there's the good things in there, and you're kind of on a time crunch and you're trying to fit it in. But guys, I think it started with about 38 plays, and then you cut that down to 12. So I think that speaks to a lot of the good things that went on, and but you got to get it corrected. And I think these are just normal processes of training camp.
And even individually, when Micah goes against Guyton and Guyton is able to pull them off, how do you balance you want to see Micah win, but then you also want to see Guyton hold his own. What's the balance there of evaluating those two players in that situation?
I mean, it depends what room I'm in. I'm rooting for everybody right now. But when that door closes, I go to the offensive room. My tone and my language and my content changes. So I mean, I think that's part of being a head coach.
Hey, Mike, Pat Doney, NBC DFW. We saw Brandon Aubrey kicking yesterday in the group, and seems to have picked up right where he left off last year. Can you just speak to how impressed you were that he was able to, as a rookie, be an all-pro the way he was, and then your expectations for him to build off that in 2020?
Yeah, I think like any player, especially when you go through it first time and, with his late arrival and so forth, and, just seems so calm, cool, and collective, from day one. Then you have success, and that's to me is a big light bulb that, shines a bright light that you look for, look at how people are going to react. And I just couldn't get over how consistent he was, just from day one to the end of the season. And now working with him, that's his personality. I mean, he's like that every day. So I think very well grounded, just a very humble young man, but obviously extremely talented.
Mike McCarthy, WFA. As you guys get into full pads and obviously the intensity elevates, how do you coach your players up in terms of bringing that intensity but not, where's that line in terms of not going too far to the point of playing out of control?
Well, I mean, it's the emotional discipline of your football team, and self-discipline, something you're highlighting each and every day. I mean, it's that's why it's important for us as coaches to make sure the job description is clear, make sure the job responsibilities are in line as far as how we're going to practice each and every day. But that's why we do it. But the ability to compete. I mean, there's a discipline in going full speed and being smart in tough spots, and when you get into these practices, when you get a teammate in a compromised position, there's a discipline not to finish them, because in the same breath, when we're not in compromised position and we're in good football position, we want to be finishing, like none other. So I mean, that's all part. I mean, we throw this word discipline around. I mean, it's physical, mental, and emotional, and that's all part of the training of your team. And I say it all the time. Practice needs to look a certain way. It needs and once again, when players are on the ground, the player safety component is in jeopardy. So, but to me, you want to talk about penalties, you want to talk about classroom, the efficiency of your camp. All that's part of the discipline you're trying to build, because at the end of the day, you want your team to be urgent. You want them to play with urgency. Well, you got to practice that way, and that's just not once the ball snapped too. So, I mean, all those things are tied into team development.
What's a day like today, like for you, Military Appreciation Day, and just seeing the interaction between your players?
Yeah, this is an awesome day. I mean, it's the appreciation, hero appreciation is what we call it, and it's obviously the military, public safety's here, so we'll have a chance to law enforcement and first responders, the group there. So we have a number of different groups that have come in for it. So our players will participate and have a chance to see those individuals after practice. Obviously we're going to honor them here with some things going on, so don't be late for practice. So yeah, this is an awesome day.
Obviously, it's year 5 for you with him, but what did you think of DeMarcus Lawrence before you got here, and how has it changed from being around him every day?
Yeah, just looking back, I mean, one of the things that did when first came here in 2020 was just you pull up your old game plans from playing the Cowboys, and one thing that we talked about D-Law was he's a bowling ball full of butcher knives, and he's that kind of player. So and that's what I think everybody knows and loves about him. So I mean, he's gonna he's hard all the time. He's been a good leader for us. I know in my time here, so commands the respect, and he's earned it.
What is he like with that room, and how much do you think is it a little bit like Zach on the offensive side?
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, I mean he's a senior guy in there, and he's the one that speaks up on the leadership council. But yeah, definitely he has a big responsibility for us in the locker room.
Cowboys.com. I know we talked a bit about Brock Hoffman around OTA time and the work that he put in over the offseason. How have you seen that translate to the field so far?
Yeah, Brock's been an excellent leader. It is his responsibility. He's I love his command. You know, he has great understanding of what we're doing, and you have to have that as an anchor. So, be good. You know, he just wants to get, but this is his first real opportunity, and he's done a good job so far.
How encouraging is it from your perspective to see quote-unquote competition happening, but all those guys still helping each other at the end of the day?
We talking everybody or offensive line or?
Just any competition.
Yeah, definitely. I think it leads to what we talked about earlier with Calvin. I mean, it's just, you know, it's part of your culture. You know, it's part of you know what you're trying to build. You know, an offensive line group does a great group. You look at the way that depth chart is in the offensive line. I think it's a great example of what I'm talking about. You have a good line of veterans in there, and then you got a really young line of guys behind them too. So I really like the balance of experience in youth you have there. So you have to have that, you know, that mindset of guys helping one another. And frankly, we want to be better of, we call across the hall. You know, the O-line, I'm more interested in the O-line and D-line, you know, relationships as far as how they interact. And this is something we've talked about, you know, in our leadership council.
Alrighty, thank you.
All right, thank you.